If you love a compelling World War II story, then this is one that you should certainly tick off your list. Praised by the New Zealand Herald for the admirable characters and well-researched writing, The Paris of the East is a best-selling historical novel that follows a group of friends who find themselves in a world of horror after the Nazis invade Poland. Author Karen McMillan is with me now. A challenging topic to say the least. What is it about Poland's World War II history that inspired you to write this story?
I've always had an interest in World War II, the personal stories, not like the big battles, but the human element of it. I'm really interested in the moral and ethical decisions that people make. And I often think, would I have made the good choices if I was in the same situation? So I went to Poland on an author tour a few years ago, and I just loved the country, loved the people, and I really fell in love with their rich and tragic history. And while I was there, I was very privileged to meet this lady called Wanda. She was in her 90s. She was a survivor of the Ravensbrück concentration camp. She told me her story, and after hearing it, I thought, I really feel compelled to write about the Second World War from a Polish perspective, which is quite different from the UK perspective. And that's the genesis of the book.
Without giving too much away, tell us a little bit about the four main characters.
Right, well, the book opens in 1939 in Warsaw. We've got four friends that are having a picnic. They are celebrating an engagement. They're aware that there's rumbles of war, but they're really confident that in any conflict that Poland will have the upper hand. But unfortunately, a few months later, Poland surrenders and their lives are changed forever. So we've got a daredevil pilot, Raphael. He's ordered to flee the country. Then he ends up working with the RAF in Britain, so he flies during the Blitz. Then the three other characters stay in Warsaw. At that stage, it's run by the Nazis. So we've got Selena, who's Raphael's wife. She's an amazing character. Then we've got Marek, who's Raphael's brother, who's kind of shy and brooding. And then we've got Anna, who's a nurse, and she's incredibly plucky and brave. All of them join the Polish resistance in different roles, but to their detriment, I have to say.
And how much research is involved in a novel like this?
I researched for about a year beforehand. I was really fortunate that my Polish publishers gave me some fantastic books about the Second World War written from a Polish point of view, so I was very fortunate with that. And of course, meeting Wanda really changed things. She gave me a real-life account of what it was like to be in the Ravensbrück concentration camp, so I've really drawn on that for my character Selena, who ends up in the same situation without trying to give too much away. So yeah, lots of research, and my Polish publishers were really good at all my questions about Polish customs and culture, because it's very different from New Zealand. So yeah, lots and lots of research.
So how does the title of the novel tie in with the story?
Well, the Paris of the East is a name that of Warsaw back in the day. It was one of the most beautiful cities in the world, so I decided to use that as my title. Unfortunately, the city we see today isn't what it was like in the grand city of 1939. It was completely destroyed at the end of the war, so that was sad. But I just wanted to really, Paris of the East, I thought that's a wonderful title. So the book is very much focused on Poland, in particular Warsaw, but the action goes from Warsaw to Lublin, it goes from Bucharest to Paris, and from London to the Ravensbrück concentration camp.
There's a great write-up in Next magazine, and they've pointed out that at the heart of the novel lies a tender love story, which offers a glimpse of hope for a better future. Why was it important for you to incorporate this sense of optimism in the book?
I think the horrors of the Second World War have been really well documented. But when I was doing my research, I just encountered so many stories of bravery and hope and just wonderful humanity. So I really wanted to reflect that in the book. And in fact, many of the lighter moments in the book are actually based on real stories. So I think that was important to me. And I think the reviewers and readers have picked up on that. So it's the courage of my main characters that comes through. Even though I'm shining a light on some terrible things, that's what kind of gives you the hope when you're reading the book.